The Employee Retention Credit from the IRS is the last major COVID relief program. Claim up to $26,000 for each employee you had on payroll. This is Marty Stewart with Disaster Loan Advisors. The IRS tax refund is newfound money for your business. Let us help you navigate the ERC program with flexible options and working together. You can relax and have peace of mind that you're in good hands. Stay safe, stay compliant, and keep more of your refund. Take the next step and schedule a free ERC consultation call with us today.
5 things you need to know about Form 941X for the Employee Retention Credit. Here are the 5 things you need to know about Form 941X for the Employee Retention Credit. 1. Form 941X Employee Retention Credit. Form 941X is a form by ERC that you can use to update the information which you have not added in Form 941 and claim ERTC. Many people do not know about this form and many do not know how to fill up this form. Employers who have suffered a drop in gross income as a result of the coronavirus pandemic are eligible for the Employee Retention Credit. ERC. Employers that missed out on the ERC in the first 2 quarters of 2021 can still file a Form 941X to take advantage of it. The ability of an eligible employer to claim the Employee Retention Credit is affected by the following credits and relief provisions. The Employee Retention Credit under the CARES Act incentivizes firms to keep their employees on the payroll. The transferable tax credit is equal to half of the first $10,000 in qualified salaries paid by a qualified business whose business was impacted by COVID-19. The portion of Employee Retention Credit is a tax incentive worth 50% of qualified wages provided to a quarter per employee by an eligible employer from March 12, 2020 through January 1, 2021. Loan recipients who are eligible for the credit can obtain it right now by decreasing the number of business tax deposits they have to make. Additionally, if the employer's employment tax payments are insufficient to meet the credit, the IRS may make an advance payment to the employer. Keep on reading for the modification of instructions for Form 941X for a list of changes made under the ARP. This information came from Disaster Loan Advisors Employee Retention Credit Form 941X. Everything you need to know and how to fill out 941X for Employee Retention Credit. 2. File Form 941X for missed COVID-19 relief credits. Looking back at the last 2 years and the sprinter's pace at which COVID-19 payroll tax credit relief was enacted, payroll accountants have earned a well-deserved pat on the back. While the rules were often complex and the substantiation requirements thorough, COVID-19 credits were well worth claiming and significantly helped companies stay financially afloat. But as the dust settles on those prior 2020-2021 Form 941 payroll tax returns, undoubtedly credits were missed and mistakes were made. Rest assured, no finger pointing here. The most well-funded payroll tax departments could hardly keep up with the changes in the law, let alone the changes made to the payroll tax form itself. We counted no less than 6 changes to Form 941 in the last 2 years. It's time to advise clients to take a second look and develop real solutions to those COVID-19 credit errors and miscalculations. File an amended 941X payroll tax return to fix underpayments and make a credit refund claim for overpayments before it's too late. Form 941X has new line items specifically designated for COVID-19 related corrections. This information about 941X for the ERC came from Tax Thomson Reuters advising clients to file Form 941X for missed COVID-19 relief credits. 3. How long does it take for the IRS to provide a refund after filing an amended Form 941X? The IRS is working through a huge backlog of amended 941 returns as a result of the ERC. For that reason, it may take anywhere from 6 to 16 months to receive a refund once you file Form 941X. All that's left to do now is send in your amended Form 941X and wait for your refund. It might take a while to receive a check from the IRS, but the ERC can be a valuable tax credit for businesses that qualify. If you're one of them, it's worth the wait. Hourly.io shared this 941X information on how to claim the Employee Retention Credit. 4. Employee Retention Tax Credit Form 941X. If your business experienced a substantial decline in gross receipts but has since recovered and you didn't claim the credit, you can go back and claim it now. Eligible businesses can file a claim for a retroactive ERTC refund on previously paid qualified wages for past calendar quarters by filing Form 941X. Adjusted employers' quarterly federal tax return or claim for refund. For retroactive claims for refunds related to ERTC, there is is the potential for significant delays in receiving funds from the IRS due to their current backlog in processing 941X returns. This information about Form 941X came from shrm.org. There's still time to claim the Employee Retention Tax Credit. 5. Is there a deadline for filing Form 941X? Generally, you may correct overreported taxes on a previously filed Form 941 if you file Form 941X within 3 years of the date Form 941 was filed or 2 years from the date you paid the tax reported on Form 941, whichever is later. You may correct underreported taxes on a previously filed Form 941 if you file Form 941X within 3 years of the date the Form 941 was filed. We call each of these time frames a period of limitations. For purposes of the period of limitations, Forms 941 for a calendar year are considered filed on April 15th of the succeeding year if filed before that date. Example, you filed your 2019 fourth quarter Form 941 on January 28, 2020, and payments were timely made. The IRS treats the return as if it were filed on April 15, 2020. On January 18, 2023, you discover that you overreported Social Security and Medicare wages on that form by $350. To correct the error, you must file Form 941X by April 18, 2023, which is the end of the period of limitations for Form 941. And use the claim process. IRS.gov shared this information on instructions for Form 941X for 2022.
As you can see, navigating the Employee Retention Credit Program is very complex and confusing to try to figure it out on your own. Even on the IRS ERC FAQ pages, it says, "This page is not current." There have been several years of updates and changes to this IRS tax credit already, including 4 congressional acts and 5 updated guidances from the IRS, totaling over 3,900 pages. Who has time to sift through all that information, let alone decipher some of the confusing language and rulings? In order to stay compliant with current IRS ERC rules and regulations, expert specialized help is highly recommended. Even if your business received an SBA PPP loan, you are still eligible for the ERC credit. If you think you may not qualify, it's worth a conversation to see if your business does. Let us assist you with a complete employee retention credit process, or if you might be stuck on filling out the IRS 941X forms correctly on your own. We are here to help. Stay safe, stay compliant, keep more of your refund. Email us at support@disasterloanadvisors.com or call us toll-free at 877-463-9777 extension 3. Or visit us on the web at www.disasterloanadvisors.com/ERC for complete details on the Employee Retention Credit Program for your business.